Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to the Yahweh and Yahshua Speak television show. We are on part 2 of falling away by making up days to celebrate. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians. Falling away from Yahweh by making up days to celebrate. 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. The days you celebrate show whether you are about Yahweh or about the things of man. People who emphasize man-made holidays over Yahweh's holy days or Moedim are not about Yahweh. 2 Thessalonians. It's either or. If you're doing both, you're not about Yahweh. 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. Let's read verses 3 to 4. And this is where Yahweh gave us the title of this lesson. Falling away. All right, from Yahweh. 2 Thessalonians 2, verses 3 to 4, please.
Hallelujah.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Verse 4. Who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called Elohim, or that is worshipped, so that he, as Elohim, sitteth in the temple of Elohim, showing himself that he is Elohim.
So this is what Yahweh showed us in the first show, that the devil is the one that instigates man to make up all these other days, apart from the ones that Yahweh commanded in the Bible are to be celebrated. And he is competing for your soul. He is competing. He's trying to get you to go to the lake of fire with him. But he said, let no man deceive you by any means. So the devil uses men and women that don't have a right relationship with Yahweh, don't know anything about Yahweh, or are unwilling to do things the way Yahweh said. It said there's going to be a falling away. In other words, people are caring less or not at all about what Yahweh said. They have a preference the way they want to serve Yahweh. They have a preference the way they want things to be done. And then they're expecting Yahweh to line up behind them instead of them lining up behind Yahweh. But they're deceived, and they want to deceive other people. There's one person that opposes and exalts itself above all that's called the Mighty One or Elohim, and that is the devil and those who are following him.
Right, tell like it is.
There's only one other person that wants to be worshipped and wants you to worship him instead of Yahweh, and that is the devil. And he would love to sit in the temple of Yahweh showing himself that he is Yahweh, and this is how he does it with these days that he's set up, where people are deceived and they don't know where the days come from. They're just going along because that's what their mother, father, sister, brother, grandmother, grandfather
Tell
always
like it
did.
is, bro.
Go to 1 John, the 4th chapter. 1 John, the 4th chapter. But when you get Yahweh's spiritual mindset, you will not think and act like most people around
Hallelujah.
you.
Praise the mighty Yah.
1 John, the 4th chapter. It is important to Yahweh that you face that.
Yes.
You will not be thinking like you used to think when you get a spiritual mindset.
Hallelujah.
It's important to the devil that you have a fake and insincere relationship with Yahweh. It's very important to the devil that your relationship with Yahweh be fake.
Yep.
All right, 1 John 14 and verse 19. And the way you fake your relationship with Yahweh is you pretend like you love him, but you don't do what he says. All right, verse 19, please.
1 John chapter 4 verse 19. We love him because he first loved us.
Now Yahweh admitted he first loved you and me.
Yes, he did.
When we didn't know anything about Yahweh. He first loved us.
Yes, he did.
He admitted that. Now the question is, are you loving him back?
Right.
Go to Gospel of John, the 14th chapter.
Hallelujah.
So are you loving him back?
That's
Some people
it.
say, yeah, but Yahweh gave you a test.
Uh-huh.
He'll tell you when you're loving him.
Right.
He tells you exactly what you do if you love him.
Uh-huh.
And it doesn't matter what you say. If you don't do this, you don't love him.
Right. Tell like it is, Rob.
Yahweh admitted he loved you first.
Yes,
Are
he
you
did.
loving him back in response?
We
John 14. Let's read verse 15.
Hallelujah.
John chapter 14 and verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
Ah, there's that big good word, if.
If.
If you love me, you keep my commandments.
Right.
If you love me, you show up on the weekly Shabbat.
Hallelujah.
If you love me, you show up on the yearly holy days. If you don't love me, then what's the... You don't.
Huh.
Right, you're doing your own thing.
You don't. That's it.
That's it.
Don't deceive yourself.
Huh.
Go to Galatians, the 2nd chapter. So do people see you keeping Yahweh's commandments, showing you love him? Or do they see you still doing what you learned before your relationship with Yahweh? Galatians, the 2nd chapter. You got some people out there talking about you can't have a relationship with Yahweh. Don't believe that lie. You better learn to relate to Yahweh some kind of way. Because he said he extended his love. Now, what are you doing with it? Galatians 2 and verse 14.
Hallelujah.
Galatians chapter 2 and verse 14. But when I saw that they walked not uprightly according to the truth of the doctrine, I said unto Peter before them all, if thou, being a Jew, livest after the manner of Gentiles, and not as do the Jews, why compellest thou the Gentiles to live as do the Jews?
Now, how are you going to stand up and tell somebody to obey Yahweh?
Right.
Or you're serving Yahweh.
Come on
He's
now.
saying, hey, well, when I saw that they didn't walk Tamema upright, according to Ha'emet, the truth of the doctrine, Yahweh said, if you love me, you keep my commandments, you obey. How you going to stand up and say you love Yahweh and you're serving Yahweh and you're not obeying him? You're a hypocrite. He said, I said to keep her before all of them. If you being Ibryi, you being the chosen that Yahweh called to represent him, if you being who you're supposed to be, standing up talking about who you are, if you living like the rest of these people out here,
Y'all right, so they have to know.
if you living like most of the world,
Okay.
waxing colder and colder towards Yahweh, doing less and less of what Yahweh said, not even caring what he said, you found out what he said, but you looking just like them.
Right. Tell it like it
He
is,
said
Rob.
you living after the manner of the Go'i, the spiritually dead, the Romans, whatever you call them. You're not living like you're the chosen. You're not living like you're Israel, Yahweh's people. What are you doing telling other people to do that?
Tell it like it is,
Go
Rob.
somewhere and do yourself a favor and sit down.
Till you get it right.
Go to 1 John again, the 2nd chapter. So Yahweh wants you to know the truth and walk in the truth you know.
Hallelujah. What you know.
See, there's a difference between doubt and unbelief. Doubt is when you don't know what the truth is. Unbelief is after you saw the truth, you heard the truth, and you decide you don't want to do it, or you don't want to believe it.
Come on now.
And he said, unbelievers going to have that part where?
Lake of fire.
See, it's time. It's time.
Yes, it is.
He said, if you love people, you'll let them know. 1 John 2 and verse 21, please.
Hallelujah.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 21. I have not written unto you because ye know not the truth, but because you know it, and that no lie is of the truth.
No lie. My Iysh, he really likes it. It makes it exactly like reality is. See, because in our carnal mind, we can cloud things and,
Yeah.
and make it think that Yahweh got a little lukewarm and he's got a little bit of this,
No,
a
he
little
don't.
bit of that. No. Truth excludes lie.
That's it.
Either you're with Yahweh all the way
Huh.
or you're with the devil.
Tell it like it is, Rob.
There is no in between.
None.
There is no gray area. He said, I'm not writing unto you. This is Yahweh talking to his Nabi to write it down to tell us.
All right.
Because you don't know the truth, but because you know it. And that no lie is of the truth.
None.
No lie. No liars will be in the kingdom.
Whoa.
All right, and this is a season where people see you, not only this season now, this is the pagan season. When Yahweh's season comes around, what do people see you doing?
At the
I'm at
temple.
the temple.
Go to Colossians, the 2nd chapter.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
And it's not too late now.
Never.
You're still alive, you're still breathing,
Yes.
so it's time to correct it. Don't be deceived thinking you're doing anybody a favor by coming to the temple. Other than yourself.
That's it.
Colossians 2. If you're not doing the truth, you know you are falling away from Yahweh.
Y'all
You
right.
can do it a little bit or you can do it a lot.
Right.
Either way, you're in the same category. Yahweh said you can do the truth and be righteous for 100 years.
Right.
But you mess up on that 100-year day and you die, you're going to the lake of fire. See, it was worse before you started.
Yes.
You understand? Now you started. And if you don't finish right, you are really, it's so serious. Your life
Yes, it
depends
is.
on it.
Yes, it is. People.
Don't let the devil deceive you.
Yeah.
No, right?
If you're not doing the truth, you know you've fallen away from Yahweh. Doesn't matter how much. You're falling away from Yahweh. You're waxing cold just like the world out there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Colossians 2, let's read verses 16 to 17.
Hallelujah.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 16. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day or of the new moon or of the Shabbat days. Verse 17. Which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Mashiach.
Yes.
Now, people not in a relationship with Yahweh think this means the opposite of what it means.
Yeah.
They'll stand up and tell you, well, see, you can't judge me if I'm not keeping the holy days.
Yeah.
That's backwards. Why? Because Yahweh said they are backwards.
Yep.
We used to be backwards
Yep.
before we came to Yahweh and started learning what he's telling us.
Praise to
He
my
said,
God.
don't let any man judge you in meat, because Yahweh said, don't eat pork, don't
Right.
eat shrimp, don't eat the fish that doesn't have fins and scales.
Right.
Don't let anybody judge you, talking about you can pray over it and eat it. You understand? But people that don't have a relationship with Yahweh think it means the opposite.
Right.
He said, in respect of a holy day, they tell
Right.
you, no, you don't have to respect Yahweh's holy days.
Right. So they
You
say.
better stand up and not only tell them, but you better respect it by attending.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the holy day comes every 7th day.
Yeah.
That's the one that comes most often.
Right.
Yes.
That's right.
Don't let anybody judge you and tell you that you don't have to come every weekly Shabbat. You don't have to respect Yahweh's holy day
Come on now.
or the new moon or the Shabbat days, talking about the yearly convocation. And the world will tell you that.
Yes.
People that don't have a relationship with Yahweh,
Yes.
even though Yahweh admitted he loves them,
Yeah.
they not loving him back.
No, they're not.
They just blowing Yahweh off. But don't you blow Yahweh off.
No.
Because
Now,
you can't stand up to what he's got for the people that's blowing him off. Read verse 18.
Verse 18. Let no man beguile you of your reward in a voluntary humility and worshiping of angels, intruding into those things which he had not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind.
That's talking about the people that are being influenced by the devil, vainly puffed up in their own mind, making up these days and thinking, oh, it's all right. And I got this thing here, list of holidays. This is from www.holodappy.com. It's a list of holidays and celebrations in the USA. And it has got so many days. You got New Year's, Nurses Day, Labor Day, Inauguration Day, National Day of Prayer, Grandparents' Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Mother's Day, Citizenship Day, Groundhog Day, Armed Forces Day, National Children's Day, Super Bowl Sunday, Juneteenth, Columbus Day, Valentine's Day, Father's Day, Boss's Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, Sweetest Day, St. Patrick's Day, Independence Day, Mother-in-Law's Day, April Fool's Day, Parents' Day, Navy Day, Easter, Friendship Day, Halloween, Earth Day, Veterans Day, Administration Professionals Day, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, and Kwanzaa. That's only in the United
They
States.
said nothing about the Father's Day.
No, well, this is the devil instigating man, and there are people that be able to tell you about all these days.
Yep.
Yes.
But if you're in relationship with Yahweh,
Yes.
you ought to be able to tell them about Yahweh. Not only tell it,
Yes.
but when it comes around.
Yes. Yes. Praise
Hallelujah. Praise the mighty God.
Go to John, Gospel of John, the 4th chapter. So people not in relationship with Yahweh don't know where the days
No,
they
they
come
don't.
from are from. So they listen, tell them to ignore Yahweh's days.
All right.
And part of Yahweh's people getting caught up in that madness.
Yeah.
And that's what it is, madness. Because only have you lost your mind would you go to the lake of fire after Yahweh told you what's going to happen to you if you don't listen to him. John the 4th chapter, and let's read verses 22 to 23.
Hallelujah.
John 4, verses 22 to 23.
John chapter 4 and verse 22. You worship, you know not what. We know what we worship, for the salvation is of the Jews. Verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him.
So the time out is for me standing up talking about I worship Yahweh,
Right.
talking about how much I love Yahweh, and you don't see me doing anything that Yahweh said. The time is way, way, way out for that.
That's right. Yep.
He said to these people, you Shaka, you know not, you have no clue what you're worshiping.
Right.
People just did this Thanksgiving, they have no clue that
Right.
they got the Europeans that came over here at first got caught up with the Indians, and then the Indians is worshiping the turkey and using the feather and talking about the turkey has all these different characteristics, and now they're sitting at the table eating the turkey and holding hands, talking about what they're thankful for. Made it into, why? Because the devil has them worshiping him in ignorance.
Tell like it is, bro.
And so Yahweh wakes us up. He wants us to understand, don't just keep doing the same thing you've been doing.
Right.
He said, don't just let your eyes glaze over and act like he's not telling you. You were backward when you came to him.
Right.
He wants you to turn you forward and make sure you stay forward. You can't go forward looking back.
No, you can't.
No. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
He said, you don't know what you worship, but we know what we shaka.
Yes.
Worship, serve, bow down.
Yes.
For what? Yahshua or salvation is of the Yadim.
True
Why?
goddamn.
Listening to this Roman Christian pastor before I came over here, and he's talking about, and we understand that the Sabbath is the seventh day. I said, oh, wait a minute now. All right, let me listen. And the Sabbath is the seventh day, and you're supposed to rest, but then and the Jewish people, they have it on Saturday. Well, he's wrong. The Jewish people didn't put it on Saturday. Yahweh put it on Saturday. And then he said, but we changed it to Sunday because of the resurrection. Then he started lying. I said, let me listen to the lie a little bit more.
Right.
And then he says, yeah, but my Sabbath is Monday. Now, but he's just doing what everybody else has been doing that doesn't know Yahweh.
Right.
Or that doesn't care that Yahweh loves them. And they just going to treat him like they would treat anybody else.
Right.
They This is the pattern that the devil has,
Yes.
and people just fell into the pattern. But it's serious. It's not a light
It
thing.
is
It's
serious.
serious. Go to Colossians, the 2nd chapter. He said, but the hour cometh, and now is,
Now is.
when true worshipers
Yes.
going to worship Abba Yahweh in Ruach and in Him.
Hallelujah.
So in other words, worshiping Yahweh involves everything about me.
Yep.
It's not limited to when I come to the temple.
No, it's not. It's a lifestyle.
It's everything about me. And whatever Yahweh
Yes.
tells me to do, that's what I'm going to do no matter where
Hallelujah.
I'm at. I was at the secular part-time job, and this lady came in and she was talking and her eyes were glazing over, wondering could she get her Christmas tree up before Thanksgiving when her grandbabies were going to come over so they could see it.
Yeah.
And you can see the eyes just glazed
Oh,
over.
yeah.
And then she asked me, are you ready?
Yeah.
And I told her, no, because I don't celebrate it.
Praise Yahweh.
She dropped the subject.
Uh-huh.
Why? She liked those eyes glazing over. You
Yeah.
understand?
Right.
Feel good to the flesh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so I didn't push it.
Right.
It's like, hey, she understands now, and Yahweh put that on her mind.
Hallelujah.
All right, Colossians, the 2nd chapter. So people not in relationship with Yahweh don't know where the days they come from that they're keeping, that they don't know where they come
do
from.
not.
So they listen to men telling them to ignore Yahweh's days.
Uh-huh.
Colossians 2, let's read verses 19 to 20.
Hallelujah.
Colossians chapter 2 and verse 19. And not holding the head, from which all the body by joints and bands having nourishment ministered and knit together, increaseth with the increase of Elohim.
Yes.
Verse 20. Wherefore, if ye be dead with Mashiach from the rudiments of the world,
Hallelujah.
why, as though living in the world, are ye subject to ordinance?
It said, do you understand the position that you're in?
Right.
You're dead with Mashiach. When
Yes.
you went in that water, a part of you died.
Yes.
That part that learned the ways of the heathen, that part that did this Christmas, Thanksgiving,
Hallelujah.
all of this stuff that you learned from the slave master. All of us didn't come over on the ships from England. There were some of our forefathers that came over in slave ships,
Right.
in chains,
Tell it like it is, Lord.
forcibly kidnapped from where they lived. All of us didn't come over here voluntarily, our
Hallelujah.
forefathers. It said, if you're dead with Mashiach from the rudiments of the world.
Yes.
The word rudiments is one Greek word found in Blue Letter Bible number 4747. Vine's Expository Dictionary of New Testament Words defines rudiments as the substance of the material world,
Yes.
the speculations of Gentile cults and Jewish theories, their philosophy and vain deceit,
Wow.
which they say is superior to faith in Mashiach. It's the basic principles of religion constituting a yoke of bondage rather than true freedom.
That's it.
So she was in bondage with her eyes glazing over.
Right.
Why? She's in deception.
Yeah.
All she knows is like she likes it, and she didn't quite want to hear, but you know what? She knows where I'm at.
Hallelujah.
So when Yahweh quickens that thing to her, he'll send her back to ask a question, just like that's what he wants to do to all of us. All right? When we stand up and represent him. Go to Revelation 13th chapter.
Praise
So
the mighty Yah.
when you don't act like you're dead from what you used to believe, then you're not holding the head, Mashiach, in his right place.
No, you're not.
Why? You're not following him. You're not being led and guided by him.
Right.
You made some decisions. You prefer to do it this way. Your preferences is not going to get you where you want to be with Yahweh.
Y'all right, bro. Tell like it
In a
is.
relationship with Yahweh is his preferences.
Yes. What he wants.
He decided to love you first. Now he said, this is how you love me back in response. I don't pick and choose how I love Yahweh back in response. I can, but it's not going to work. Revelation 13 and verse 1.
Hallelujah.
Revelations chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Now, the name of blasphemy, that means this is something that's against Yahweh.
Right.
Against what Yahweh set up. All right? Not interested in Yahweh.
No.
He said he stood on the sand of the sea, and this beast came up out of the sea. The English word sea are the same Greek word, one Greek word found in Blue Letter Bible number 2281. Vine's Expository Dictionary of New Testament Words defines the sea as ungodly men.
Okay.
Thayer's Greek lexicon defines the sea as the whole world. So it's talking about people that are against Yahweh. Who they following? They're following Yahweh's enemy, the devil.
That's it.
Go to Revelation. We're in Revelation 13. Read verses 2 to 3.
Hallelujah.
Revelations chapter 13 and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as if it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast.
And what this is talking about is the last worldling empire.
Tell it like
world
it is,
ruling
Ron.
empire. The Caucasian, the Romans.
Right.
All right. The Gentile world ruling empire. The leopard, the bear,
Right.
the lion. And then it said, but who's behind it is the dragon.
The dragon.
The dragon is one of the devil's names.
Yes.
The dragon gave this empire its power and its authority. It said the world wondered. All the world wondered after the beast. You're not supposed to be wondering after the beast.
Right.
The world is cold towards Yahweh. If you're wondering after the beast, you're getting cold towards Yahweh. You're falling away from Yahweh.
Yes, you have.
You listening to the lie thinking that you're supposed to do less for Yahweh, be less involved with Yahweh. You're joining with the world. It said, the world wondered after the beast. The English word wondered is the Greek word found in Blue Letter Bible number 2296. Vine's Expository Dictionary of New Testament Words defines wondered as to think about, to marvel at, to admire, to meditate on, to build upon and build around. All you see on TV every few seconds. And there were people beating the stores down today in Black Friday. I'm not saying anything was wrong with Black Friday, but the thing is, what's wrong with you that you think Yahweh can't give you a deal some other day?
I know, right? Tell like it is, Rob. So
why do you think you just got to go with the rest of the people? You understand there's something wrong with that.
Yes, it is.
I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm just saying, why are you thinking Yahweh can't get a blessing to you?
I know, right?
Some other day.
Yes, he can. Bless you.
They're marveling, they're meditating on. The world admires the days the devil made up. They admire Thanksgiving. They admire Christmas. They admire Easter. They admire their birthdays.
Oh, number 1.
Read verse 4, please.
Verse 4. And they worshipped the dragon which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him?
Yahweh. So the dragon is one of the devil's names. But Yahweh's letting them know they're worshiping the devil in ignorance. When Yahweh tells you, if you don't stand up and show them by assembling on Yahweh's feast days, by letting them know, look, you know what? Now I don't do Thanksgiving anymore. That's Yahweh's Feast of Tabernacle that the devil set up as a substitute. And I understand now, he set up Thanksgiving to take the place of the Feast of Tabernacle, to deceive me from coming to Yahweh to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacle. He set up Easter to deceive me from keeping the Passover. It was just a decoy to stop me from coming to Yahweh. Now I understand that. You don't have to be mean when you say it.
No, you do not.
But you do have to tell the truth.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how, well, you know, that's going to make them feel. No, it's not going to make them feel anything other than Yahweh will use your words to convict them and to wake them up. If you don't stand up and say it and do it, you think the rest of the people out here going to do it? Let's go to Deuteronomy 31. So most people are ice cold towards the day Yahweh said to celebrate. And Yahweh forbid that any of us ever demonstrate that after we've come to Yahweh.
I know, right?
You're falling away from Yahweh if you do.
Yep. Praise the mighty Yahweh.
And that's the last thing any of us ever want to do. Fall away from Yahweh. Deuteronomy 31, verse 16.
Hallelujah.
Deuteronomy chapter 31 and verse 16. And Yahweh said unto Moshe, Behold, thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, and this people will rise up and go a-whoring after the Elohims of the strangers of the land, whither they go to be among them, and will forsake me and break my covenant which I have made with them.
Now this is the shape that we're in. Got brought over here to the Western world in slave ships, learned our slave masters' ways. They worked us like horses and cattle.
Y'all right, tell like it is.
Our forefathers were so relieved when they could get a day off. And the only day off they let them off was Sunday, the first day of the week. Gave up the seventh day. Gave up Yahweh, gave up his day. So Yahweh's telling you, this is the situation that we came to Yahweh in.
Yes.
Backwards. Because our parents had taught us this backward stuff. Why would you stand up after you come to Yahweh and he's straightening your head out and stay backwards? Yahweh said, you're going to, pass on, wait for the resurrection. But I'm telling you what's going to happen to your people. And it did happen.
Yep.
All of us had to come up out of Easter and Christmas and all that. It did happen because our forefathers went through this. He said they're going to rise up and go a-whoring after the Elohims of the strangers, their slave master. I went to the Methodist church on Sunday. My sister did too.
Y'all right.
I celebrated the Christmas and the Easter and all that. Got my little Easter dress. Got dyed the eggs and all that. I don't do it anymore.
Hallelujah.
Why? I was backwards when I did that.
Tell it like it is, Ross.
They're going to go whoring after the Elohims of the strangers of the land, whether they go to be among them. And what's that? They still stayed close to me. He said, no, they forsook me. It doesn't go both ways. You either on Yahweh's side or you're on the devil's side.
That's it.
Doesn't matter if you got a little bit of the devil's side. No. You either 100% for Yahweh.
That's it.
And you're standing up and you're making it known.
Hallelujah.
No matter who likes it, Yahweh likes it. Yahweh loves it. That's it. He said, and you will forsake me, and you break my covenant. It's different when you don't know. Let's go to 2 John, the 1st chapter. Yahweh said that was what's going to happen to our forefathers. And it happened.
We living
and
it
it
now.
happened to us too. But I'm not going to pretend now like I'm backwards, still backwards and still do the same stuff. I'm not going to do that. We all go through the phase where our family keep inviting us, and you keep telling them over and over again. Why? Because in the world they think eventually you're going to stop. They don't understand that you come to the end of the road. You come to the truth.
That's it. Praise
The only thing
God.
for you to find out is how to walk this walk better.
Keep moving
And
forward.
to do this thing better.
Yes.
You're not looking
Hallelujah.
for a way out.
Hallelujah.
Look, we prayed the prayer.
Yes.
You're not serving Yahweh as a punishment.
No.
You serving Yahweh as a platform to
Yes.
stand up and tell people they need to
Hallelujah.
know about Yahweh.
Right.
Hallelujah.
Not to go disappear somewhere in the crowd so that everybody thinks that everybody's celebrating Thanksgiving or everybody's is doing everything that everybody else is doing. All right, 2 John, the first chapter, let's read verses 10 to 11.
Hallelujah.
2 John, the first chapter, verse 10. If there come any unto you, and bring not this doctrine, receive him not into your house, neither bid him God Yahweh speed. Verse 11. For he had bidden him for he that bidden him Elohim speed is partaker of his evil deeds.
And I was talking to this person about Halloween, and they supposed to be a Sunday person, and got the REV, divinity degree and everything. And then talking about, but I don't celebrate Halloween, but I'm gonna go to Walgreens and get some candy so I can pass out the candy. That's what this verse is talking about. If there come any of you and bring not this doctrine,
Right.
receive not him into your house, neither be in him Elohim speed. I wasn't gonna let him come over my house and have the children ring the doorbell and pass this out.
Right.
How you gonna say you don't celebrate it, but you're gonna go get some candy to pass out?
I know.
But see, that's how Roman Christians think.
Yep.
And they trying to convince Hebrews that that's how Yahweh thinks.
Right.
That's a lie from the pit of the lake of
Yes,
fire.
it is.
He said, don't do that. And then I didn't tell him, oh, that's good, you're going to get the candy.
Right.
I didn't say nothing.
That's it.
Because that's a choice he's making. But he did say something this week talking about, how everybody's struggling and everybody, trying to get their finances together. Isn't that right? I said, no, that's not right.
That's right.
I said, my finances are beautiful. Matter of fact, my father is rich.
Yes. Speak, King.
And he's very generous.
Yes, he
And he's
is.
sharing it with me. Then he went to quoting scripture. But that was just a loophole for the devil to get me to jump in there. Hey, you gonna struggle by yourself.
Right.
You better go talk that with some of the devil's children.
Yep.
There's no lack in my life.
None.
Why? Because my father has supplied everything.
Yes.
I mean, according to his riches and glory by his son Yahshua.
Promise.
And I'm not gonna say any different.
That's it. Y'all rod, so
All right.
lambs can know.
So don't join in with the people that are partaking in doing those evil
That's
deeds.
right.
Let's go to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter.
Hallelujah.
Are you telling the world it was the European colonists who hunted wild turkeys in 1621 AD, and since the turkey is a North American bird, which the natives worshipped, it gained the center of attention at their Thanksgiving meal. And you saw the things that I passed around.
Right.
Where it talk about the turkey spirit and the turkey mythology. And you saw that the Zodiac got a thing about what turkeys are. Well, I've got this article, www.native-languages.org/legends-turkey. Native American turkey mythology. The Spanish name for turkey is guayolote. It comes from the Aztec name Huexolotl. All right? So not only the North American Indians, but all the Indians, all right?
Okay.
In South America, everywhere, worship the turkey. Turkeys play a variety of roles in the folklore of different Native American tribes. And they just talking about the Americans, but you just saw the Aztecs, right?
Right,
They weren't
right.
in America. All right? The Aztecs were down there in the Caribbean, all right? It says, the turkey is portrayed as an overly proud trickster character. In others, he is shy and elusive. The Akimel Oldham Pima people consider the turkey a rain spirit and have folk beliefs about turkeys being able to predict the weather.
Huh.
Well, the Europeans got some about what, the groundhog, something's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Where'd they get that from? The same type of thing. The turkey was also the special tribal symbol of the Unalextigo tribe, which was of the Delaware Nation. Turkey feathers have been used in the traditional regalia of many tribes. So you saw the Indian headdresses,
Right.
all right, with the feathers. The turkey dance is one of the most important social dances, associated with songs about war, honors, and tribal pride. Native American turkey gods and spirits, then they got this Calchiotolin, that's Aztec, Cayona Cachini, that's Hopi, Native American legends about turkeys. They got this Indian turkey girl story where this girl neglects her promise to the turkeys. Like she's serving them, like the Greek and Roman mythology. So she promised the turkey as her god something, and then she didn't do right, so something bad happened to her. Then they got this Turkey and Gray Giant. This is a book for children. Talks about a Navajo myth about a turkey's escape from a giant. The Turkey Girl, and this is a Cinderella story. This is a folk tale about magical turkeys that teach a girl a hard lesson about keeping her word. Then Spirits of the Earth, a guide to Native American nature symbols, stories, and ceremonies. It's a book about the meaning of Indian animal spirits, including a chapter on turkeys.
Okay.
So you see the people sitting at the table with the turkey, clueless about the turkey.
Right.
And what it means. And I have this article, Indians made totem poles. So let's read a little further, and then we're going to look at the totem pole. And
Praise
see
the mighty Yah.
the totem pole. Then they got statues of Jesus, and they got statues of Mary. And Yahweh said, when our forefathers went whoring after other mighty ones, after other gods, they would start worshiping stones and stocks.
Right.
Well, that's these 50 and 60 foot statues.
Right.
And the totem pole.
Y'all right.
All right.
Y'all
And yesterday they were sitting at the table worshiping the turkey.
Yep.
And just about everybody you can think about that's not spiritual Israel was worshiping that turkey.
Right.
And there probably was some Israel. I remember years ago, this guy was talking about how I don't celebrate it, but I'm going to get me a plate. Eating the thing sacrificed to idol.
That's it. It is written.
That's the same thing. Bidding them Elohim speed. You join him, you might as well go on and sit at the table with the rest of the people. Eating things sacrificed to idol.
Yep.
All right. We're in Deuteronomy 28.
Yes.
So Thanksgiving is only related to the arrival of the Europeans to America.
Okay.
And it said that this guy, John Keister, talking about, all Americans know, how President Lincoln set up this day and how the Pilgrims came over here. And, well, you think they would know, but then they act like they don't know. Like what did Malcolm say? They talking about landing on Plymouth Rock.
Right.
And then he said, no, Plymouth Rock landed on us, on the slaves.
Okay.
Hey, we didn't land on no Plymouth Rock.
Right.
Our forefathers came over here in the bottom of a boat, tied up.
Y'all right. Tell like it is.
So our forefathers arrived in America, kidnapped, chained by force on slave ships. We're in Deuteronomy 28. In the 14th century BC, in this book, Yahweh recorded that our forefather would be brought over, talking about the tribe of Yehuda, Benjamin and Levi, part Levi, over to North America. Deuteronomy 28, verses 49 to 50.
Hallelujah.
He recorded this in the
Yes,
Bible.
he did.
That we would be brought over here as slaves.
Right.
Deuteronomy,
28, yeah, 49 to 50.
Deuteronomy 28 and verse 49. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
All right, so Yahweh said he's going to bring a nation against you from far, from the end of the earth. He's talking about eventually the beginning of the transatlantic slave trade, where our forefathers were brought over here by force. The official, it says, is going to be as swift as the eagle flies. The official national bird of the United States, the American bald eagle, was adopted as a national bird symbol of the United States of America in 1782. It was chosen for its majestic beauty, great strength, long life, and because it's native to North America. But Yahweh said this in the 14th century.
Yes, he did.
Told us BC.
14.
We were going to be brought over here, our forefathers in slave ships. So the question is, are you now thinking about sitting at the table on Thanksgiving Day, talking about how grateful you are that your fathers were brought over here in chains, against their will, stripped naked, husbands separated from wives, wives and mothers from children, brothers from sisters, to work as slaves the rest of their lives with no pay? You're really sitting at the Thanksgiving table talking about what you're thankful for.
Oh, wow.
Y'all rod, tell it like it is, so lambs can know.
Really? Let's read verses 30 to 34.
Hallelujah.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Verse 31. Thy ox shall be slain before thy eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thy donkeys shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thy enemies, and thou shalt not have none to rescue them. Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand. Verse 33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Verse 34. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thy eyes which thou shalt see.
So this is talking about our forefathers. This is talking about how they were brought over here in slave ships, and it was their practice to break up the families and separate them and send them to different plantations in different states. And he's saying, hey, you're going to have a wife, but the slave master going to come in and sleep with her.
Right.
All right, and then he's going to get rid of you. You're going to go to another plantation.
Right.
Stop.
All right, this is talking about us.
Yes.
Deuteronomy 28, it lets us know. Let's go to the 3rd chapter. So the Bible records that in slavery, your forefathers would identify with their slave masters. It talks about how our forefathers would be mad. In other words, just their brain just on fire with all the things that were happening to them.
Right.
And just heartbroken and just crushed. But it all happened because they didn't listen to what Yahweh
That's it. Tell it like it is, Rod.
So we're on the other side of that.
Yes.
Who's going to be a knucklehead again
I know, right?
and not do what Yahweh said? Exactly the way he said.
Right.
They would identify with their slave masters. We're going to Jeremiah 3 and start celebrating their days. Yahweh also explains in the Bible that they became so deeply rooted in their slave masters' days that Yahweh calls them backwards.
Okay.
That's why they produced us and we were backwards.
Yeah.
But we straight now.
Hallelujah.
Not as straight as we're gonna be.
Right, right.
But Yahweh straightened us out. He let us know we were crooked before we
I
came
know,
here.
right? Thus says Yahweh.
Crooked. Why we thought crooked.
Uh-huh.
We talked crooked.
Uh-huh.
We acted crooked.
Yes, we did.
Now he's straightening us out.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
So we were backward too
Yes, we were
because
once.
they passed those days on down to us.
Yeah, yeah.
And you came into your relationship with Yahweh backward.
Yes, we did.
He still loves you. But now he don't want no backward bride.
No, he don't.
He don't want no backward people. Why? Because when people look at you, they're gonna want to see the difference. People are looking and want to see somebody that will
Praise
stand
the
up
mighty Yah.
and represent righteousness.
Hallelujah.
People want to see somebody to where they can keep looking at you and you keep serving Yahweh. You keep doing what's right. You keep doing what's right. Because the rest of the world is so flaky out there.
Y'all right,
Would you stand up and stabilize so they can look and see Yahweh in you?
Yes.
Jeremiah 3, and let's read verses 6 to 9, please.
Hallelujah.
Jeremiah chapter 3 and verse 6. Yahweh said also unto me in the days of Josiah the king, hast thou seen that which backsliding Israel hath done? She is gone up upon every high mountain and under every green tree, and there hath played the harlot. Verse 7. And I said, after she had done all these things, turn thou unto me. But she returned not. And her treacherous sister Yehuda saw it. Verse 8. And I saw, when for all the causes whereby backsliding Israel committed adultery, I have put her away, and given her a bill of divorce. Yet her treacherous sister Yehuda feared not, but went and played the harlot also. Verse 9. And it came to pass through the lightness of her whoredom that she defiled the land and committed adultery with stones and with stocks.
All right, so here our forefathers started doing in the land.
Yeah.
That's why eventually they ended up, Yahweh forcibly had them kidnapped and brought over here in chains. Now, smart people look at something somebody did and they learn, they say, you know what, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
It's some retarded, backwards people that will look at something that somebody did and then they go do the same thing and think their head is not going to get busted wide open like that. That's somebody that's got retardation on the brain. It said, it came to pass, first he did it to the 10 tribes of Yisrael. They started worshiping other deities and not keeping their Shabbat and doing what their preferences, how they prefer to serve Yahweh. And serve a little bit of Yahweh and then do the rest of what they want to do. They got kicked out, and then the 2.5 tribes, the priestly tribe, looked at it but didn't learn from it, and they ended up, the same thing happened to them. And it transpired until the forefathers came over here in slavery and really got everything just, they just really got drug around. All right? Why? Because Yahweh's trying to save a few of them. All you have to do is look around and see what the people are doing out here. It took all that to save a few of them. It said, but they committed adultery with stones and stocks.
I know, right?
The English word stones is the Hebrew word eben. That's E-B-E-N, found in Blue Letter Bible number 68. Jusinian's Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon defines stones as a stone of any kind, whether rough or polished,
Okay.
either large or small. And I have from www.stpeterbasilica.info, there's 140 saint statues on the Vatican colonnade. That's what he's talking about, stones and statues. And you see people with the little Jesus on the cross around them. It says at spiritualray.com, 14 most famous statues of Jesus around the world. So people got these 40 and 50-foot statues of stones.
Yep.
They got one in Brazil.
Yeah.
There was one on the Italian Riviera. There's one in Colombia.
Yeah.
There's one 118 feet high in Vietnam. There's one in Portugal. And now they also, at www.catholicfb.com, tallest statue Virgin Mary world. Here's the tallest statue of the Virgin Mary in the world. This is talking about worshiping stones and stocks.
That's it.
And all of their religions come from Roman Catholics.
Yeah.
So whether you're Baptist, Methodist,
Tell it like it is, Rob.
they might have changed a little bit. They call it what, African Methodist Episcopal, but it's still a Roman Catholic Church right on. They just don't do a few other little things.
Right.
This representation of the Virgin is larger than Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro and the Christ of Peace in Bolivia. It's 149 feet high. So they got Mary taller than Jesus.
I know, right?
Wow.
And there are people that go to look at these statues and bow down and worship. And they have the little chairs around them, just like when they had it over here on Ashland. And I don't know how tall she was, but it was scary. It's like,
I know, right?
it was scary, but they had the chairs there. And then they had one at the school up here that was even closer.
Yeah. It's right on.
And they had the little chairs around there. And the people were sitting there at the statue.
Yep.
Now, the stocks. The English word stocks is a Hebrew word etz. That's ETS, found at Blue Letter Bible number 6086. Jacinius Hebrew Chaldee Lexicon defines it as trees